Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So The Intercept was able to get their hands on a slide deck for Jared Kushner's investment fund called Affinity. And they say that in it, he, quote, nakedly touts the former Trump advisor's work with Saudi Arabia and his links to several Trump era deals in the hope of raising money from Wall Street. So as you guys may have already learned from mainstream media, Kushner secured $2 billion from the Saudis. This was with the help of his good friend, the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. And MBS's own government advised him against it. They said that, the company has no track record. They have no experience in this. They looked into it. They said that Kushner and the fund left them with skepticism, to put it mildly. Yet MBS literally handed $2 billion, billion with a B like boy, to a guy who rode his daddy's coattails and bank account into business and into an Ivy League school. Then he rode his father-in-law's coattails into a job in the White House and then exploited it for all that it was worth. Which apparently it was worth a lot, $2 billion to be exact. So now Kushner is out there raising more money by touting his time in the White House and his relationships with murderous dictators like MBS. Not only that, but this slide deck states that Kushner led, quote, the negotiations on the historic OPEC plus oil agreement in April 2020 among the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Russia, which led the largest oil production reductions in history as the COVID-19 economic crisis shocked global demand for the commodity. So he's out there boasting now about cutting back on oil production while gas prices are soaring out of control and the Republicans are trying to blame Joe Biden. And anyone who watches the show knows I'm not a huge Biden fan. I absolutely did not want to have to vote for the man. But let's be clear, the gas prices are astronomical because of greed. And also in large part because Saudi and Russia are colluding to manipulate the price. And the Saudis flat out refuse to increase production. Now that COVID is over, or not over, but restrictions have ended and people need gas again, people are using gas and traveling again, they're saying no. And it's clearly a giant FU to Joe Biden. And they've said why. They've been very explicit in saying they want to help put Trump back in the White House. I wonder why. Whatever could Jared Kushner have given them that was worth $2 billion? Think about that. So The Intercept reached out to someone who works with numerous US investors, and they asked them what they thought of Jared's proposal, his slide deck and his pitch. And he or she, whoever it was, said that they were shocked at how blatant Kushner was in talking about influence peddling. And the person said that they'd, quote, never seen such a joke of a deck, meaning his slide deck, his proposal. They said that they couldn't believe that they were talking so openly in it about, quote, corrupt insider contacts. And the person also said that there was no substance, there was no detail in any of this entire pitch deck. It literally doesn't say anything about what the actual product might be. It's just filled with platitudes and business jargon, and then, of course, praise of Kushner's so-called accomplishments. And here's the deal. I get the right's point about Hunter Biden and how he exploited his father's position of power to make money. He used his name like a credit card, right? I didn't agree with what he did either. It is wrong, regardless of whether your last name is Trump or Kushner or Biden or Clinton, whatever it is. So, but where these issues differ is in the fact that Hunter Biden never worked in the government. He never held a position of power within the US government, and he didn't impact or dictate foreign policy, at least not that's been proven thus far. Unless evidence comes up that shows otherwise in the future, His business dealings didn't directly affect our government's decisions and their policies. It made him very wealthy. He definitely used it for all it was worth, but it doesn't appear that it was done as a quid pro quo, as this may have been done, because Kushner, on the other hand, literally had access to the most classified information, of which he was not entitled to, that he could not get clearance. And Trump had to step in and tell them to make an exception. And Trump's administration, we all know, made some very curious, very unprecedented decisions in regard to foreign relations, including with Russia, with Qatar, with the Saudis, many others. Now we find out that Saudi handed $2 billion to someone with absolutely zero experience in investment funds. And they handed another $1 billion, by the way, to Steve Mnuchin after he left office. I mean, at least Mnuchin was involved, is part of that world of investments. So it makes more sense. But Kushner, seriously, come on. Anyway, guys, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.